talking, and I say we, my friend Jane Jenkins Herlong. Here she comes. I just know she's coming in any minute. Come on, Jane. Ta-da. You know, it's so funny. In the last episode, I kept getting darker and darker. And so finally I said, let me just go to another room. And so now I'm in my dining room and it's much brighter. But of course I'm complaining about, looks like I have dark circles under my eyes. You know, these are things that are very important to Southern ladies.
Yes.
But we've been talking about the things that we grew up hearing, the sayings that we grew up hearing, and, you know, the things our Southern mamas taught us that we never really thought about, that no one else said these things. So we talked about 4 last week. We talked about 4. Now we're going to talk about 4 more, but this time I'm going to be just laying them out to Miss Jane. Let's see if she knows where they come from and what they're about.
Okay, I'm ready.
This is one of my favorites. Madder than a hen. No, madder than a wet hen. Yeah.
Okay. Apparently, the farmer would go into the hen house, and if a hen is on the eggs and they were brooding, a lot of times they would pick up the chicken and dunk it in some water and set it back, and it did not go over well.
No, yeah. I mean, anybody who's ever raised chickens knows that chickens, hens, whatever, they don't like to get wet. And that's also where the saying "madder than a wet sitting hen" comes in.
Oh,
yeah. So
yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, I mean, the experience I had with chickens was my grandparents. You know, the rooster as soon as the sun would peak, that was torture.
Oh yeah,
we were going no.
Here it would go. Here it would go.
But that is some good memories though.
Yeah, if you grow up around it, you don't like. I don't even hear it. It's like when I go to my uncle's house, he must have 50 cuckoo clocks in the house, and they all go off. All these chimes and cuckoos are going off at the same time. But honestly, I just don't hear it anymore, you know?
Yeah.
So, you know, maybe the first night you're aware of it, but then after that, you're not.
Ike Carpenter had a pet chicken, and we'd go down to Edgefield and he'd carve spoons, and Leroy would come out and he played, no kidding, he taught him how to play checkers.
Oh, no. I had a pet chicken. Her name was Miss Pettigrew. And she was my girl. She was my girl. So I lost her about 7 years ago, but she knew when I came home. She had her own little coop right outside the sliding glass doors that led to the back porch. She could not be with the other chickens because she had been injured as a chick, and I took her in and took care of her. And once she was well enough to go back, if I put her back, they would have actually pecked her to death because they don't like that. So I had to keep her in a special little coop. And so if I had been gone for 2 or 3 days, like in my travels or whatever, and I came home, as soon as she heard my voice, she would start stomping her feet. And I would go out there and she'd just run and just jump into my arms. So
how long did she live? That's so interesting.
Well, quite a few years. I would say about 5 or 6 years. Yeah.
That's so sweet.
I don't remember how long I had her, but my husband would say she thinks you're her mama. If I walked in the yard, she would
strut.
Yeah, she just walked right there with me, you know. So but she knew I was the one who saved her life and took care of her.
Oh my goodness.
A snake had gotten into the pen with the other chickens, and they were little chicks at the time, and they were trying to get away. One didn't, and so she got caught in the mesh wire, and anyway, I saved her little life, and I named her Miss Pettigrew. I have to send you a picture of her.
Now that would be a cute children's book.
Yeah, she was so adorable. Okay, here's the most passive aggressive we Southerners say.
Oh gosh.
And you know what it is.
Oh yeah.
Bless your heart.
Bless your heart. You know, and I've heard it so many times, sadly, because it can be very passive aggressive. Like you say, You know, that no good slime bag ran off on Sue Ellen. Bless his heart.
Sorry,
You know,
bless her heart.
it like
Yeah.
it
She's like,
negates.
she's so stupid.
Yeah. But it like it erases the bad stuff you just
It
said.
does. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I've even, like I've heard like God love her heart. Like, she's just dumber than a bag of rocks, but God love her heart. I mean, it's just the way it goes. And the funny thing about it is Northerners think we're being sincere, don't they?
Oh, that's the most fun part. Well,
Sorry
bless your
about
heart,
that.
darling. It's so good to
Yeah.
see you. It's
Oh,
just
I
so good
know.
to
Bless
see
your
you.
heart. How you been?
Yeah. It's our code. It is code.
Here's the thing. Sometimes we really do mean it. We
Yeah.
do. You
I
just
thought,
have to know how it's said.
yeah, I find myself saying it and I'm thinking, I really do mean, bless your
I
heart,
really do
sweetie.
mean
That's
it.
so awful. And I really mean it. And then
Yeah.
I'm thinking, but boy, if somebody knows what that means, they might think I'm not being nice. And so,
Right. Yeah. I mean, if you hear that a friend has just had a tragedy or something like that, you'll say,
yeah,
"Oh, bless her heart." And I
yeah,
mean, that is almost like this little automatic prayer that we have, bless her heart. And we are asking God to bless them. But then there's other
yeah.
times we're just like, well,
They
bless his
said,
heart.
no, help me. You know what? I've
Yeah.
always heard that Southerners are the nicest people in the country. Pause. We just don't mean it.
That's right.
Don't believe us when we say, hey, y'all come and stay with us for a couple of days. No, no.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Hospitality being what it is
Yeah.
and all.
Yeah, that's
So,
an iconic one, no doubt.
oh yeah. Well, okay. So I grew up in Georgia. You grew up in South Carolina. Georgia, South Carolina, and Texas are the largest producers of peaches in this country. And we have a saying, pretty as a peach. Where does it come from? What does
Well,
it mean?
do you know that Edgefield County or Johnston, our little town, is the peach capital of the world?
Oh, I did not know that.
We have so many peaches and we live in a peach orchard, situated, but
How about it?
yeah, so pretty as a peach. Now I will tell you, a peach is sweet and and I
Yes.
don't know what it means, but I don't like the peach fuzz because I'm
No,
telling you, as I get
no,
older, I'm thinking I don't want that fuzz. But pretty
no.
as a peach, I don't know. Tell me about that one.
Well, I think too that there's nothing quite as lovely as a peach orchard when it's ripe and it's in full bloom, I guess is the way you would put
Oh
it.
yeah.
I mean, there's something so wonderful about peach picking and the color of peaches, that shininess that they have. And yeah, you're right about the fuzz. Although I would, if they were ripe enough, and when they're ripe because they're kind of squishy, and you just bite into it, it's all juicy, and it's just the prettiest fruit, I think personally.
Well,
Apples and peaches and all that.
it is a pretty good. I was in the South Carolina Peach Festival and
Oh.
they hadn't had a peach. It was in Gaffney and there's a giant peach in Gaffney. And it's kind of weird looking if you look up and see the little point, it's supposed to be correct. People made fun of it for years. But
Right.
so the peach queen had her peach crown for 20 years. So
Wow.
she was giving up her crown holder and she took every minute of 20 years to make a speech, and we were all passing out. But the funniest thing is we had to go to the Peach Festival, and they decided to cook the largest peach pie ever.
Oh, hello.
The what is it? Health department would not let them cut it off, so it looked like burnt motor oil with these things floating in it, and they made us taste it.
No.
Well, I thought,
no.
right there. I mean, and then there was one girl that went, "This is delicious." Well, somebody had tipped her. She won, by the way. Somebody tipped her off to put ice cream on top so it wouldn't taste so bitter. But
oh my goodness. Yeah. Yeah.
I'll never forget
And I love
that.
a good peach cobbler. I think I'm going to do a peach cobbler in my next newsletter. I think I'll pull out a good peach cobbler recipe from my mama's Southern cookbooks.
There is a peach recipe called Good Pie. Mama used to make it. It's so easy. I think it's just flour, sugar, butter, and you just dump the peaches in the middle.
Yeah.
Nothing to it.
It really is easy to make. We make it all the time and serve it with ice cream. And it's good hot or cold. Hello. But it's so good.
It is. What's the last one here?
Over yonder.
Okay.
What does
I
that
do
mean,
not know,
Jane?
but if you're not the here, you're over yonder.
That's
So
right.
yeah. So is that right?
Yeah, and we Southerners, we can be very vague when we're giving directions. So you can say you're just going to go over yonder a little bit, and only we know what a little bit is. Go past Farmer Johnson's house. You know which one I'm talking about. Of course, the stranger's going, no, I have no idea where Farmer Johnson lives. But just over yonder, it's over yonder. And here's the funny thing: over yonder can be close by or it can be far away.
Well,
It just depends.
yes. The only reference I have is these California people moved here. Like I'm thinking witness protection. I mean, seriously, why?
Yeah.
And so I said, how y'all getting along living here? And he said, well, we went to the water department and set up our account. And there's this nice lady, she opened the little glass door. She said, now I done fill this out for you. Now you take these here papers over yonder. And he said, is that do I need to go to a street or yonder street?
Where is yonder?
So,
no, it's just right there at that table. Right.
Yeah,
just go right there to that table over yonder. Yeah.
It's a bless your heart moment when it went.
It is a bless your heart moment.
And she said she leaned into that. She leaned in that little glass thing she pulled out. She said, you ain't from around here, are you? Let me explain something to you. In the South,
I'm telling you. Yeah.
Over yonder is
over
just
yonder.
any place where you ain't.
And that's right. There you go.
Any place
wherever you ain't. That's right. That's right.
Well, that's fun.
We're going to come back next week and we'll see you again.
We will. All righty. Until next time.